how are you doing? In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the TV shows and movies that I've watched in the last 5 months in lockdown. I have managed to watch more TV shows and read fewer books than I expected to do since the beginning of the lockdown. Let's get started and talk about the TV and movie shows. The TV shows and movies that I watched. Black Mirror. Black Mirror, everyone has been recommending to me for the longest time, so I decided to give it a shot. It has a very realistic take on the near future, or rather the future we're already living. For those sci-fi fans out there, you will definitely like Black Mirror. Every show is like a movie in itself. It's like a short film. The message behind it is very poignant, and some of it is really hard to digest as well. Like the very first episode, which is called the National Anthem, I found that very hard to watch. Despite that, I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was a brilliant work of art. A lot of these Black Mirror episodes, they have that slow-moving, intense grip on you while you watch it. So that's how I felt, and it was hard to come out of that when it was discussing things that are very close to home, like the use of social media and becoming famous, and how it makes you obsessed with trying to get popular, and how that's very like what's happening right now, but most people don't realize. It highlights a lot of these issues, how technology has advanced and it's come and infiltrated our personal lives. Between technology and personal lives, it's hard to sort of draw the distinction, and the lines sort of get very blurred. That's what I liked about Black Mirror, and I'm yet to watch a lot of the episodes, especially CSS Callister and Bandersnatch. That's like a game and you play it, or you're in that episode. But the ones I did watch, I watched the Miley Cyrus episode, which I thought was done really well. It felt less like Black Mirror and more like a regular episode, but I still found that entertaining, maybe because it targets millennials and I bought into it. I really liked the one where the man is cycling and he has to make points, and he's sort of stuck in this loop of having to cycle for a living in the same spot, and the more he cycles, the more points he makes. So lots to think about, very thought-provoking, great for discussion. Black Mirror is highly recommended. I would give it 8 out of 10 stars. The next TV show that I watched is Little Fires Everywhere. I haven't read the book yet, but I was drawn to the TV series, especially because Reese Witherspoon is in it. And her supporting actress is also really good. I forget her name, but I will link that in the description. Janvilla, apologies for not having prepped enough. I love the family dynamics. I mean, the way they show motherhood and how there's a dichotomy between a black woman being a single parent and raising her child versus a white woman living the American dream. She has everything, and still they have things that the other doesn't have. You can see that play out really well. The black woman, she has a lot of personal issues that she doesn't talk to her daughter about either. The way she handles motherhood and parenting and the way Reese handles parenting are really different, but they work really well together when they are shown together. I just really liked Little Fires Everywhere. I haven't read the book, but I downloaded the ebook and I'm willing to read it now because the show is amazing. I would give 5 out of 5 stars to that. The best TV show that I watched, or rather a documentary series I watched this year, is Chernobyl. Chernobyl is really hard to digest and a very intense watch, and definitely not for the faint-hearted. But it is extremely important to watch, and it is done really well. Something that needed to be told. It's history being put out there, like what actually happened, and we get the facts. We get all the facts about Chernobyl. A little bit of dramatization, but done very tastefully. I loved the acting. I loved that they didn't use stereotypes of Russian people. There weren't any people with accents in the show. I really liked that there were difficult, disturbing scenes about what it's like to have radiation exposure and radiation sickness. All of that is shown close to the truth, and it's very well paced. You really have to binge watch the series. It's that sort of series. Even though you know that you're going to sit there with your eyes wide and you're going to want to you still put yourself through it because it is really worth a watch. So on the whole, Chernobyl, I would give it 10 out of 10 stars. It is highly recommended, and it shows all the kind of repercussions of a nuclear disaster, the power plant explosion, what happened. Nuclear waste spreads all over the European continent, and the damage is for several decades, and you have genetic mutations, all of that is extremely well done, and I think it deserves an award. So enjoy Chernobyl. I watched a couple of movies as well. I watched Hamilton, the American musical, which I have been dying to see for the longest time. The movie was fantastic. It really brought the stage to life, and Lin-Manuel's performance was fantastic. I was able to sing along with all the lyrics and all the raps, which is a lot of fun. What I realized is that if you've listened to all the songs and you know the lyrics, you kind of can piece the story of Hamilton together, but watching the actors do their thing on stage and seeing that revolving stage and a bunch of things which I don't want to spoil for y'all, is just fantastic. I watched it on Disney Plus if you guys want to like find it and watch it yourselves. It's worth your time, and I would rate it 5 out of 5 stars. I can't imagine Hamilton being played by any other set of actors. Even Aaron Burr's character steal the show. On the whole, I loved it. I watched so much TV, guys. So much TV. I watched Next in Fashion, which stars Tan France and Alexa Chung, and I thought that was great reality TV. You just have so much fun watching all those contestants get together and sort of knit and sew and stitch really exclusive, well-designed clothes and sort of fight for that first position. I absolutely recommend watching Next in Fashion. It is a reality TV show done really well, I think. It's not superficial. It really shows that fashion is more about art and how people perceive pieces of clothing as an expression, an artistic way of expressing individuality and just expressing themselves. And you can take inspiration from Frida Kahlo, you can take inspiration from literature, you can take inspiration from anywhere, even Marine Driver's suit, to create a piece of clothing that is wearable and really unique. I really enjoyed Next in Fashion and highly recommend watching it. Again, I would give that 4 out of 5 stars, except for the chemistry between Alexa and Tan. I didn't really like that for being hosts in the show. They could have like worked on their chemistry, I think. But apart from that, Tan France really is an amazing host. I also watched a Studio Ghibli film. It was the first Studio Ghibli film that I watched, and it's called Howl's Moving Castle. And I just randomly picked it off Netflix, and it's really good. I think I would definitely watch more Studio Ghibli. The animation is really different from anime that you're used to. It sort of goes back to when we were kids and the kind of shows we used to watch on Cartoon Network. It's sort of that kind of animation. I really liked it because the story itself was very enduring, and it's based on a fairy tale from Europe, so it's a retelling of that. At times it was a little absurd, but not very absurd. Very lovable characters, so highly recommend watching Howl's Moving Castle if you want a bit of escape. So the story is about this woman who gets cursed by a witch, and then she starts to age. The next thing she knows, she's no longer a young girl but has become a grandmother. It's how society treats elderly people in Japan, and that is shown really well because it's treated with a lot of respect. Actually, she meets this wizard called Howl. They have an adventure, and I think she ultimately ends up falling in love. So it's a very sweet story, but it's told very tastefully, and I think you would enjoy watching this film. I will link that in the description as well. Let me know what you guys have been watching. I would love to hear if you have any recommendations for me. A lot of you have been saying I should watch Dark, which I'm not so sure about, but I might give it a think. In the meantime, stay safe. Hope the lockdown is treating you all well. And that's it from me. I will see you very soon with another bookish video this time. Take care. Bye.